with coverage you can count on. This is the Erie News Nowcast.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kristen Allen. Thanks for joining us for tonight's edition of the Erie News Nowcast. Well, it's a project several years and millions of dollars in the making, but the Warner Theater is entering its final months of construction. Groundbreaking on renovations to the 90-year-old movie house began in May of 2020, and though the project hasn't moved along as quickly as folks would have liked to see the theater completed, they did tell us they didn't want to sacrifice quality for speed. Included in the new construction is a large rehearsal hall and event center, Broadway quality dressing rooms, and of course, renovations to the stage. The Erie County Convention Center Authority is hopeful that many upgrades to the theater will bring more Broadway quality shows to the city, thus more revenue for our area for several years to come.
We built this facility and designed it for the utmost of flexibility to not only meet today's needs, but to have the flexibility to adapt to meet the needs of the future as well.
And it's yet another thing you're hearing shortages about. It's firewood this time. This industry is something that many people here have never seen before. Dick Schultz has run Schultz Woodpile in Fairview for 50 years and says he's never seen the firewood industry like it is right now. Now, this time of year, he'd usually have about 200 cords of firewood on site, but right now he only has 50 and says he's not really sure when he'll get any more. The prices are also soaring, causing his customers to cut back on their usual order.
Pricing of the logs went up, the procurement of the wood substantially, so we are up substantially on our price just to cover the cost of the logs to get them here.
And so, what's a cord running?
Our cord right now is $400 delivered.
In a typical year?
$275, $300.
And Schultz is echoing what many retailers are telling their customers as the holidays approach. If you need firewood, get it now. And the race for Erie County Sheriff is gaining national attention, with hundreds of thousands of dollars coming in from a national lobbying group. Every Town for Gun Safety is a national lobbying group founded by former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg. It's launching a pilot program seeing what effect it can have in local races. Erie County's race proved to be the perfect place to begin. And although both candidates position themselves as gun owners and supporters of guns rights, Republican Brian Shank is outspoken on the issue. He was arrested several years ago for carrying a gun in a park, a case he later won on appeal. So the Political Action Committee is spending almost $200,000 trying to keep Shank from the county's top law enforcement job.
I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's really represents the people of Erie County. All these issues have been brought up before, they've all been clarified, and we've cleaned up the mess.
I think I'm the viable candidate in this race, and if an organization outside of Pennsylvania sees the same thing, how can I argue with that?
The race for Erie County Executive is also really heating up, and it's expected to be a very close one, with strong Republican leanings in the county and the city a Democratic stronghold. Republican Brenton Davis and Democrat Tyler Titus will each need voters in that mixed middle, splitting their tickets if they hope to claim victory. Now, Republican Brenton Davis opened headquarters in Summit Plaza today. He rolled out Democrats for Davis signs. The message, he's already counting several Democratic elected officials or former office holders in his column. Among them, longtime County Councilman Fior Leone, former City Councilman Mark Alexandrowitz, and Democratic School Board member Tom Spagel, who lost a primary bid for Erie mayor earlier this year. Now, Davis believes Democrats are willing to split their ticket for him because they don't like outside money coming into Tyler Titus's campaign. We reached out to Titus, who believes his unanimous election to his current post as Erie School Board president is proof of his bipartisan support.
It just goes to show that Erie is truly voting for a person over party. To me, it shows that they're rejecting out-of-town interests for protecting our in-home interests.
I'm the candidate who's not only said that they have bipartisan support, but has worked across on both sides and been able to move solutions forward with bipartisan support.
And as Election Day draws near, we're helping you learn more about the candidates for county executive as you decide who will get your vote. Erie News Now is hosting a debate between Democratic candidate Tyler Titus and Republican candidate Brenton Davis. You can watch it on WICU this Thursday at 7 o'clock. It's also airing several times on WQLN PBS, and you can watch it anytime on erienewsnow.com starting this Friday. In the city of Erie, Mayor Joe Schember plans to challenge the 2020 census, which dropped Erie to the 5th largest city in Pennsylvania. The 2020 census found Erie's population dropped by nearly 7,000 people, bringing the city's population to just under 95,000. Now, if those numbers stand, the city could lose out on federal funding available to cities with 100,000 or more people. So come January, Mayor Schember will be able to request an examination of the 2020 count. If he's not satisfied with the review, the mayor can then determine if a full recount is warranted.
We think there were thousands of people not counted in Erie, probably tens of thousands. I know I talked to census workers who told me that when they went around, they knew people were in the house they were knocking on, but no one would answer the door because of COVID-19. And so one census person told me the estimate was about 20,000 people they missed in the city of Erie, and that doesn't surprise me.
Now, the city did challenge those census results back in 2015 and won. Mayor Schember hopes the same thing will happen this time around. And ransomware attacks have been popping up all over the country, from big businesses to local school districts. As first reported by the Corey Journal over the weekend, the Corey School District suffered a ransomware attack on their network. It took the school offline, and the district had to delay classes Monday as it tried to adjust. Right now, the school is still investigating how this happened, but no personal information was leaked. Multiple servers were taken down in different buildings, and although the district has safeguards in place, these things still can happen. Now, we asked a local tech company what things you can do to keep your software safe. They shared these 3 tips. 1, don't click on any links and emails that you don't recognize. 2, don't respond to anything with a phone number that you don't recognize. And 3, make sure your computer is up to date with a good backup and security product installed.
You don't want to click on any links that look suspicious, or they do look legitimate, but they seem kind of off. That's how they trick you. They trick you into making it look legitimate so that you click on it so that you infect your workstation.
Now, we did reach out to the school district and the superintendent today for comment, but we haven't heard back just yet. And gas prices continue to rise in our area, driving some to forget filling up in Erie, but driving to Ohio to pump their gas instead. Our Keelan Berrien reports.
This isn't a pleasant sound for motorists as gas prices rise. And for Paula Pitts, she is one of many to travel around looking to save money.
We need to get back to energy independence because this is really sad.
What she also noticed, gas prices are higher than last year.
I was paying $1.99 or less.
In Pennsylvania, the state average for gas is $3.50 a gallon, which is almost a 20-cent difference from our national average, which is $3.34. James Garrity, spokesman for AAA East Central, says the reason for gas spikes is crude oil.
When it comes to crude oil, that's more than 50 cents of every dollar you're spending at the pump. So when you see price increases of maybe like $1 here or $1 there with crude oil, that has an impact.
That impact is causing drivers in Erie County to cross state lines into Ohio, where gas prices are cheaper. According to Garrity, the cold season caused prices to lower, but during the holidays, more travelers mean more gas demands. Garrity says the prices we see now are going to be the same during Thanksgiving.
So as we get closer to the holiday season, really it's all eyes on crude oil.
Now the question is, will we see $2 gas prices again? Will we ever see gas prices go back to $2, like $2.50 or anything like that? Or for a while now it's going to just stick at $3 or more?
It's very unpredictable because as we've learned in the last, almost 24 months at this point, all the normal trends that we're used to seeing have been completely disrupted.
Now, these trends include the pandemic, weather issues, and of course, the holiday season. Well, thanks for joining us for this edition of the Erie News Nowcast. Join us for our next news at 10 p.m. on the CW and 11 p.m. on WICU, WSCE. Have a great night.